Came to prepare for the future. I live for right now. I don't think they want to interrupt my party. Please don't interrupt my party. We just trying to find somebody for the night. I don't think they want to interrupt my party. Please don't interrupt my party. We just trying to find somebody. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Jacob, also known as Pick Management, and the NFL Betting Insiders is back with me and my boy Greg, aka Mr. Smackington. We are back after a long hiatus. I was in concussion protocol for the last few weeks and could not keep a sentence straight, so have not been on the show, but we're glad to be back. We have been smashing. Greg is up to his 7th rung on his ladder challenge, and he's been smashing at 7 wins in a row. I am currently 31-4, my last 35 picks in the NFL, so we are here to drop our best bets for the Sunday NFL slate. Greg, how you doing? Glad to be back. Missed you, bud.
Yeah, man. Glad you're doing good, man. It's good to see your face, my boy.
Yeah. Had a close call in that car accident, but that's how we do. When we're back, we're ready to go, better than ever. And we are going to start with Greg's first pick. It's in this game. The Washington Commanders are visiting the Baltimore Ravens, and the over/under is set at 51.5. And Greg, I know you have a pick on the total.
Yes, I have a pick on this total here for the Baltimore Ravens and the Washington Commanders game. Lately, as we've seen, the Commanders have been shocking the entire NFL community with their star-studded rookie quarterback, Jaden Daniels, previously of LSU. Some reason right now, I don't know, man, they're just really fucking gelling really well. They're allowing him to be the helm, be the leader for them, and it's been working out quite well. The reason I love this over, for 2 reasons. One, it just seems like right now the Commanders have no quit in them on the offensive side, and it seems to know how they poise themselves, getting through good third down conversions, which has been allowing them to keep driving. All right, they've been hella dominant on third down conversions this year, the Commanders. Okay. Plus, Jaden Daniels is quick on his feet, and we also seen that the Ravens' defense is still a little. It's sketchy, all right. I think this week, though, the Ravens show up on defense, okay? I think that everything that the Commanders have been able to do, the opponents they've been facing haven't really been top tier to me opponents, except for, I believe it was the Bucks, but I don't know what the Bucks had did. You know what I'm saying? The Bucks defense just had nothing for the Commanders. But I believe this week the Ravens D and the Commanders D should hold a little strong. Just on this nice little turnaround week, I feel both of them was on the road. Ravens was in Cincinnati, and Washington was in Cleveland, if I'm not mistaken. So that with it itself, I believe, like I say, the under should hit. I like it at under 51.5. It was at 52, possibly by game time, but I think the under
for sure. I'll jump in here. I saw you were on the under here. While these two teams are averaging a lot of points per game, but I think Baltimore's like first, Washington's third. It's because of like what you said, their opponent and who they have been playing. They've been able to smash a lot of these teams and put up a lot of points. And it's a lot of these, late game scenarios, garbage time points that teams are scoring. So I think Washington is going to have to step it up to be competitive in this game, period, especially traveling to Baltimore. And I think Baltimore's D is going to step it up. So I really like the under that you're on for sure.
Yeah, I think they're going to try to utilize a lot of Henry. Keep it on the ground. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
So that's the only way to keep Washington from scoring.
Yeah. Keep them off the field.
Keep them off the field, man. So I'm loving the under here.
All right. Next game up, we're going to move to one of my picks. I'm going to the Cardinals versus Packers game. Oh, I do have a couple of picks on the Ravens and a total for a moneyline parlay and a teaser for later, but I'll touch on that when I get to it. But for this next game, I bought this one up a couple of points because I think we're going to need it. But I'm on the Cardinals here, +7 versus the Packers. We've seen Kyler Murray and company really kind of ball out. They're 2-3 their last 5 games, but they've been able to put up some points. They just had a bad loss to Washington, but they had a close win at San Francisco, which is good for morale, good for the team. They had a good win against the Rams. Detroit, that's a juggernaut, good on both sides of the ball. So an acceptable loss there. And this Green Bay team kind of in the same boat, had some good losses, some bad losses, you know what I mean? And some good wins and some bad wins. So, I think both these teams are very competitive. And in a game like this, where there should be some bad weather, I think a touchdown is just way too many points. So I really like the 7 here. Any thoughts for you on this one?
Yeah, man, it's going to be an ugly, dirty game, all right? I just was looking right now while you were speaking at the weather for tomorrow. It's going to be in the 50s and heavy rain.
Yep.
And we already know in Green Bay it can get sloppy.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm actually in agreement with you only due to the fact that Cardinals, to me, have more running power, if that makes sense, with Kyler and James Conner.
Yeah, for sure.
That team in Love coming off of an injury, I'm sure they're not going to want to keep him trying to do too much. They're going to try to utilize all of the Green Bay's, assets they have instead of trying to, make Jordan Love keep it on the ground. But if this has to turn into a ground game, I would be inclined to ride with you on the Cardinals only due to the fact that I feel they have more running power.
Yeah, I do like the Cardinals because of the run game. But I mean, both these teams, they're, dynamic QBs that can drive the offense with their legs and not just their arms. So I think it's, these are very evenly matched teams on both sides of the ball, which is why, like I said, I think the 7 points is just way too many. Moving on, though, we got another one coming up, another total for Greg, a.k.a. Mr. Smack. I know you got a total for this Cleveland versus Philly game, so why don't you go ahead and take over?
Yeah, man, we're just going to call it like we see it right now. Browns defense is hot garbage, okay? I'm talking about as soon as you finish putting that shit in your garbage can, just take it out. That's the Browns, all right? It's hot. They can't stop a cold right now, and that's really unfortunate for the Browns. You would almost think that they would have had enough of this, especially not even with injuries on their defense. I just don't know why they're not clicking. And Eagles are coming back full strength, healthy. A.J. Brown's back in the lineup. Devontae Smith's in the lineup. Goddard's in the lineup. I just expect Hurts to have really fun at home with his healthy guys. The total's low, more than likely, because they feel like the Browns don't have an offense, but we know the Eagles should at least let them put up 14 or so. And if they put up 14, I'm happy because I know the Eagles should drop 30 on the Browns.
Yeah, I love that.
No problem.
Yeah,
I didn't want to take the Eagles team total. I just didn't want to take the Eagles team total. I didn't want to feel presumptuous just in case they don't necessarily get 30. I mean, Browns may, who knows, but at least 2/3.
I like Philly team total here. I don't think that's a bad play at all. I'll tell you a couple reasons why. Over has hit in 6 out of the last 7 home games for Philly. We've seen 5 out of the last 7 hit between the teams in the AFC. I'm sorry. Total has gone over in 5 out of the last 7 games of Philly from when they're playing a team from the AFC North. So AFC North versus Philly, we see a lot of those games go over. Cleveland, over in 9 out of the last 13 games, over in 11 out of the last 13 on the road. And something that's going to be good for this game is the fact that, the Browns have been getting just destroyed on the O-line. They are getting 2 of their starting tackles back. James Conklin and Jedrick Willis are both going to be back for this game, so it's going to give that O-line some breathing room. So maybe we'll see Cleveland finally be able to put up more than 15 points in a game. So I think we have that on our side. I think we have the fact that Philly's whole offense is going to be on the field. They're healthy and rolling, and I really like Jalen Hurts and what he's doing over there in Philly.
And I want to let it be known I'm not really a trend guy because in the history of these two teams play, it's always went under, but that's not really should be the case moving forward here, in my opinion. So,
yeah,
trends, we're going to set a new one with the over.
I had, if you watch the show in the beginning of the season, we talked a little bit more about it that, I had really high hopes for this Browns team, but we had said in the beginning of the season that if, the QB position wasn't rolling, that this team was going to struggle. And that's what we've kind of seen, that, he has really let them down in terms of leadership. And
they, I think they're still skeptical of Nick Chubb. I think they're scared. The organization is scared. They don't want him to rush, and I'm sure he's in their ear every week telling them, I'm ready. But I think that's another thing that's hindering the Browns, is that they're not playing a key player who seems to be wanting to at least participate on some offensive plays. You know what I'm saying? Like, if y'all felt like he wasn't going to be ready, give him his first 5 plays, blocking plays or some shit like that. You know what I mean? He ain't even got to run yet.
Right.
But just having him probably in the huddle would do some works and wonders for the Browns offense. But
I feel like he's been there forever, and he's just never been able to really have a full successful season. It's been the flashes in the pan throughout the season, or filling in on injury. But that's where we're at for this Browns-Philly game on the over. Moving on, though, my next game up, I'm on a money line here. I'm going to the Colts at Tennessee, and I like the Titans money line here. Honestly, this is a garbage fire of a game. Lots of injuries on both sides of the ball. Neither of these teams are anything to call home about. But I think, the injury bug has affected Indy a little bit more than Tennessee, especially on the run side of things. Jonathan Taylor, I believe, should be out.
Yes, he's definitely.
Anthony Richardson is out. Anthony Richardson, I believe he should be out. So Joe Flacco is going to be stepping in for him. Titans have won 8 in a row outright following a bye, and they're off a bye this week. So with some of their injury concerns, the fact that they have had time to prepare, and they're taking on a really banged up Colts team, I just think Tennessee will have enough pieces to get it done at home. I don't think it'll be pretty, but I think they'll be able to do it. Okay. Any thoughts for you on this one?
As I was overlooking everything, like I said, you see is probably sound. I mean, the workhorse for the Colts is Jonathan Taylor. It is probably sucks that he took almost off half or 3/4 of a year last year to get injured so early in the season. But I will say they do have a solid backup, and I forget his name. But the Colts, they should attempt to try to do something. We know Flacco really ain't no hoe. I mean, they lost their last game to the Jags, but Flacco's been keeping them boys content within games. But
I'll give you that. And Trey Sermon is the guy you're thinking of.
Yes, Sermon. Sorry, that's what I was thinking of. I think he's okay. Joe Flacco, he's getting up there. Joe Flacco's been in the league since I was like in middle school. So, I'm 35 now. So maybe look for him to have a interception thrown. But I think there's just too many injuries for the Colts here to overcome. And I think Tennessee will be able to get it done. And at minus 145 on the money line, I think it's a pretty reasonable price. Next game up, though, we are going to the Saints as they take on. Sorry, this is your big. I'm sorry, what was that? The Bucks.
Yeah, Saints taking on the Bucks. Why don't you go ahead and take over?
So in this game here, I took something that really probably wasn't convincing for a lot of you people. But I like to see what's best value in the game. And this game here, I'm going to take the Saints to get over 2.5 field goals, all right? Reason being is this right here. For one, there's no Derek Carr. For two, there's no backup quarterback. For three, they're starting the third-string quarterback, all right? Now, preseason, he did look good. He knows how to drive the ball. But I feel even though the Bucks' defense is weak, I think once they get to the red zone a few times, they should be able to stop the Saints. Even giving Kamara the ball, it's not the same handoff from Carr. He didn't really work with Kamara, but maybe 4 times this week, possibly for 30 minutes a rep. We know how NFL practices go. You know what I'm saying? They be run-throughs. They don't even really be – them bitches be dry when they be running. So I just feel that even though Saints are coming in with a third string, this quarterback will do enough to get them into the red zone to get me 3 field goals. against the Bucks.
I like that. I like that a lot. I know you cashed on over in field goals play last week too, which was a good read. And Greg has been cashing on these a lot this year. I'm also got to play on this game too, and it kind of goes with everything you just said. Spencer Rattler, third string quarterback for the Saints. I just don't think he's going to have the skill set to overcome this Tampa Bay defense. Even though they're not the greatest in the league, I don't think you're going to be doing that in your first game, your first start as a pro. We talked about it in the beginning of the year, but rookies' first games, they are win 20% of their first games out of the last 500 rookie starts. You know what I mean? So it's tough for a rookie to win their first start period. This Tampa Bay team has a lot of weapons. Baker Mayfield's been slinging the ball all over the place. And because their defense is a little suspect, you might be able to see some movement on the New Orleans side of the ball. Tampa Bay's had a tough week. They lost their stadium. They've had to practice elsewhere with the hurricane and all that. So it's been a weird week for them. But I took Tampa Bay to get the job done on the money line, minus 185. I know it's a little juicy, but sometimes the juice is worth the squeeze, and we're going to pay it here. Because they've had the tough week, and I think they will be able to get a couple of field goals like Greg was saying. I'm a little iffy on taking any kind of points here. Because it is still Baker Mayfield and the Bucks. So minus 185 is a decent price to pay, and I'm going to pay it.
I agree with you on the money. I feel this is one of them games that you just have to take the value at what the value is. The only good thing for the Bucks is that they have a back-to-back dome game. All right, so I feel any game that you don't have weather conditions, it should really just be based off of you guys' conductivity together. So there should be no reason to stop the Bucks from winning this game. I never disputed or said that they should or shouldn't win. I just don't know how much they will possibly win by, because the Saints defense is kind of tricky right now. It could possibly end up being close. I just don't think the Saints offense is going to be as impactful as what the Bucks offense would be in this game, which is why I'm just loving field goals here.
Yeah, I love the field goals, and we're riding with the Bucks. I'm going to keep going on my next pickup because I know you only got one left. I'm going to the Steelers visiting the Las Vegas Raiders, and I'm all over another money line here. I'm taking the Steelers minus 175. Another kind of similar breakdown. Raiders are real banged up on the injury side of things. They're starting Aiden O'Connell at quarterback, I believe, to see if they can give him a start. But the thing is, they will lose some mobility that Minshew has in doing that switch. So, it's one half dozen or the other here. And I just don't think that they have any sort of, they haven't been able to mesh on either side of the ball to get anything really done. And while Pittsburgh doesn't have both sides of their, defensive line, with TJ Watt on one side, they're missing the other, but I think they have plenty of weapons to hold this Raiders offense in check. I think they have the better coach, Mike Tomlin, better quarterback. I mean, they win on, every level of, the stat sheet here. So I'm all over Pittsburgh minus 175 to get it done on the road versus the Raiders. Any thoughts for you on this one?
Yes, I would also feel that it's worth the lean if you look into it. Whatever the Las Vegas is total under. All right, they ain't scoring shit.
Yeah, I think that for sure. And I was
gonna say Goose. I would say they don't even get 3, man. But what you gonna say?
Yeah, I definitely might be looking at a first half under for sure. Game under. A lot of that, anything here because I don't think Vegas is going to be contributing too much. Also, the last 5 out of the last 6 games between these two teams have also seen the under hit. Moving on though, we have another pick from Greg. This one is going to be 425 on Sunday. The Lions are heading to Dallas to take on the Cowboys, and Greg has a pick in this one.
Yeah, man. This is going to be a good fucking game. All right. This might be the best game of the day. Okay. All day. My Lions, they're like my underdogs ever since Hard Knocks came out. I've really been rooting for them. I feel they've been earning their right to get into the competition of being talked about as what the future of the NFL should be. All right. And they have their chance this week right here. This is a big game for Detroit, more than it's probably a bigger game for Dallas. But I still don't think Detroit comes into Dallas and wins. I'm taking Dallas here at home on the money line. They have not won a game yet at home this year, but that's neither here nor there. I feel that Steelers game was a monumental test for the Cowboys, even being banged up. They see that they know how to, come together, persevere at the end. I like Dallas's offensive weapons in this game better than I like Detroit's offensive weapons in this game. Goff to me right now just hasn't been Goff. All right, like I'm starting to see like a trash Goff, if that makes sense. Yeah, he's gonna get him out there real quick, give me a nice little quick 7 out and out or whatever. But I'm missing the Goff that was with LA, like the one that first came to Detroit. Them boys was always attempting to be bigger and better. And now they've been getting really conservative with the run game. And I just feel that the Dallas Cowboys' defense, even being hurt, they already know what to expect coming from Dan Campbell. I mean, he's been kind of transparent to me, I feel, in his last 4 games. That's why almost all his games have been more so close than not, all right? So if you're going to give the Cowboys points at home, I don't even want them. Just give them to me head up. You got to show me. And I feel like this is a good test for more so the Lions than it is Dallas. And I don't understand why it's only 3. If that's another thing too. You know what I'm saying? If you're putting all this stock into how the Lions are good, it should at least been 5.5 or 6 based off of alone the Cowboys play and the injuries that the Cowboys now face with no Diggs, no Michael Parsons, and somebody else on defense ain't playing. You know what I mean? That's a game changer. And you're still only putting that 3 points. Give me Cowboys money line.
I know Greg hates when I do this, but I am on the other side in this one. I am on the Lions money line minus 175. I think these two teams are just in a different class in the NFL now. So I'll say the Cowboys are at the top of the second tier, while the Lions are in the middle of the top tier. You know what I mean? And especially with the injury concerns that Dallas has on both sides of the ball, a weak run game. They've only scored 20 points a week the last 2 weeks. I think Detroit just has not only at this point the better quarterback, but the better offensive weapons, better run game, and right now better defense. So I think David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs are going to be a great 2-headed monster in this game. And I think they're going to make Dallas pay. We've seen Detroit not only put up points, but have had a pretty stifling defense. They held Arizona to just 13, Tampa Bay to 20, the Rams to 20. So they've been able to, hold some teams down. And while Dallas, has had some good wins in there, we've also seen some bad losses. And, really, if you take a look at the Dallas record, they beat Pittsburgh, they beat the Giants, and they beat Cleveland. Any team that had, more of a semblance of a well-rounded team like Baltimore or the Saints at the time, they have lost to. So that's what we are both on. Yeah, go ahead.
It's going to be close. I'm telling you.
Yeah, for sure.
It's going to be closer than what people think. Like I say, I'm not a trend guy. Even though the Cowboys own on the head up the Lions, I love the Lions. Like I stated, I love the Lions. Them one of my boys. I just feel that they're going to overplay their hand in this game. And if they overplay their hand, then that's what the downfall is going to be. Like, I'm telling you, I almost feel for sure Goff is going to be the weak link of this game.
I could see that. I always pick on Jared Goff just because He does always seem to be the one to be able to be picked on. I do have a couple more plays, though. I have a couple of money line parlays and a 13-point sweetheart teaser, which I've been crushing all season long. I'm like 9-3 my last 12 teasers, which is a pretty good win rate. But my first money line parlay I'm on the Falcons money line and the Texans money line. It pays out minus 120. This New England team is just hot garbage, as Greg likes to say, and Houston's been rolling. They will be without Nico Collins this week. I don't think that's going to be much of a problem. This New England team doesn't have much for answers anywhere, and Houston has been rolling. I think they'll be fine without Nico. I think this will be a lower scoring game without him, but I think Houston has the pieces to be able to take care of this Patriots team on the road. And the other one is Atlanta. We've seen, this, Atlanta offense really be clicking, which is just crazy. But they have been able to, put up some yards. Kirk Cousins has been slinging the ball down there. And I think against a weak Carolina secondary and overall weak defense from Carolina, I think Atlanta is going to have the pieces to get it done there as well. So I think both of these on the money line, minus 120 is a great bet. And the other one, two games we already talked about, but I'm on Philly money line and Baltimore money line, pays out minus 160, a little steep on the juice. But both of these teams should get outright wins, if not cover two. This Philly, they're 9.5 on the spread. It's the biggest spread of the week. And Baltimore is like the second biggest at 6.5. So I really like both of those. Both big home favorites, usually a good bet to at least take on the money line. And then my last one, 13-point sweetheart teaser. This pays out minus 140, depending on what your book might be a little bit different odds, but this adds 13 points to each side of your teaser. So I took Cincinnati and the Giants under 60. Those two teams do not have the ability to put 60 points together. I took Tampa Bay plus 9.5. They are going in as 3.5-point favorites. So this takes us through all the important key numbers all the way through to the other side, almost to 10 points. No reason why Tampa Bay, if they don't get it done, they shouldn't win. They shouldn't lose by more than 9. Arizona, Green Bay, even though there's going to be some bad weather, I think these two teams could, combine for over 34.5 with their eyes closed. So I took the over 34.5 in that. And then Washington, Baltimore under 64.5. We talked about it earlier. Baltimore on defense at home is tough. Washington doesn't really have the offense. I don't think combined that they'll put up 64.5 points. Yep.
Hell no.
So we're going to go ahead and recap our picks. Greg, do you want to go ahead and recap yours?
Yeah, before I do, I just wanted to throw out one thing if we could talk about, because it's the only early game, is this London game, right?
Yep.
Jacksonville on the road in London, Chicago on the road in London. It's a 9:30 game. Since it's the first of anything, is going to be, just if somebody wanted to happen to look into something. I would like to say I think the under is a great play here. Also, I like Trevor Lawrence's passing yards under right here. As of lately, the Bears' defense has been stopping the pass game. Something serious, all right? I don't think he gets whatever the number. I haven't looked to see exactly what Trevor Lawrence's passing yards is, but I don't like it. And the under should definitely hit as well. I don't think that the Bears run away and beat the dog shit out of Jacksonville, but I do think the Bears still win.
I dig that. Jacksonville does play better in England. It's their second home, but Chicago's definitely been the better team so far this season, better against them, period. And it's a good one. So would you want to go ahead and recap your best bets?
Yes, now to recap my best bets. Okay, we got at 1 p.m., we got the Washington Commanders versus the Baltimore Ravens in under 51.5. We have at 1 p.m. the Cleveland Browns versus the Philadelphia Eagles over 42.5. And we have the Buccaneers versus the Saints. We have the Saints over 2.5 field goals only. That's it. And last but not least, the 4 o'clock game, which I feel is going to be the best game of the day, which is Detroit versus Dallas Cowboys. I have Dallas Cowboys on the money line at home. Let go.
All right. And I am on Arizona +7 versus Green Bay, the Titans money line versus the Colts, Tampa Bay -185 on the money line, Pittsburgh -175 on the money line versus the Raiders, and Detroit -175 on the money line versus the Cowboys. I'm also on a Falcons-Texans money line parlay, an Eagles-Ravens money line parlay, and a 13-point sweetheart teaser. Cincinnati Giants under 60, Tampa Bay +9.5, Arizona Green Bay over 34.5, and Washington Baltimore under 64.5. Greg, tell people where they can find you online.
Yeah, man, you can find me on X at Mr._Smackington, or if you happen to be on Instagram, you can go to search bar, type in the word Smackington, and I'll pop right on up for you.
All right. And you guys can follow me across all socials at Pick Management. Make sure you guys follow the Pick Management Discord. You guys get free plays and all sorts of stuff there. A lot of great interactive people from the community. Also, we should be back in full swing with weekly shows. NFL and college football should be starting soon. And soccer will be back when this international break is over. Otherwise, that's going to do it for us here at the NFL Betting Insiders. We will see you later.
You came to prepare for the future. I live for right now. I don't think they want to interrupt my party.